Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games back with another cool pinball repair video for you this evening. We have been working on not one, but two Stern Draculas for our buddy Shane. And on the last video, we were able to get Dracula to rise once more. This left one, we think, is maybe a little better shape than that one. So we're fixing this one for Shane. He's going to keep it in his collection. And then this one over here, we're going to fix after that. But we're focusing all of our attention on this. Now, in the previous video, we found a good solenoid driver board for it that was missing. And we worked through the MPU, repaired all of the reset section and the battery damage, and got the thing to boot again. Even the soundboard came back alive. So I'm going to turn it on. It's loud, though, okay? So know that it's coming. But I'll turn it on, and you can see it boot up. Notice there's no hum, though. I told you it's loud, but I forgot. Okay, so it's back. It's kind of doing something here. That's life, I think. That went away. But I think the thing's running. Well, it's back. Okay, but I can't really tell. I think a lot of the controlled lamps are locked on or something. Something's wrong with the lamp board. Some of them are on and off. But what we need to fix next is the displays. Now, we're trying to fix both of these games, but we only have enough displays for one game. So we got in touch with him and said, hey, what do you want to do? You want to put the original displays in the one you're going to keep? And then maybe put some LED displays in the other one? Or would you prefer to have the LED displays in the one you're going to keep and put the old displays in the other one? And so he asked us what we thought, and we thought, well, you know, if I was going to keep it, you know what I'd do? I'd get some red LED displays and put in my Dracula. So that's what we're going to do. So we've got some. We're going to actually put them together in this video. Now, this solenoid driver board here, interestingly enough, I found from a previous repair that we had done, and I had marked it as good to go. Everything was cool, and it is. I measured all the voltages and stuff. But it's actually missing the filter capacitor for the high voltage, which makes the voltage that runs the plasma displays in the original machine. And it's had the fuse removed from it. So I usually don't do that, so I must have pulled that out of a different machine or got it somewhere or whatever. But interestingly enough, since we're putting LED displays in this, we don't need any of that. So I just left it like that. So the display capacitor, filter capacitor is gone, and the fuse is removed. So the high voltage is not happening. It's not running over to these displays. So basically we're going to pull out these ones that there's two original ones. We're going to pull those out and save them for this machine because we don't know what kind of shape those are in yet. We haven't even plugged it in yet. And then we're going to build some LED displays. So let's look at the LED ones, and I'll see if I can put one together real quick, and we'll see if this thing is trying to tell us anything on its displays. So I showed these in the previous video. These are from Wolfpack Technologies, Wolfpack Tech. We've bought from them before. They're very cool. I like that you put them together yourself, and they're inexpensive. So we actually bought two sets. We've got another set that we're going to use for an upcoming project. All right. Here is our address if you want to send us anything. We are not asking for anything, but if you want to send us something, go for it. We've had people send us letters. We've had people send us gifts. People are great. Okay, so Wolfpack Technologies, Bally Stern 6-digit display kit, version 3. I think the last ones I had might have been version 2. He might have moved up the versions on me. When assembled, this display will replace the Bally Stern 6-digit display used on many solid-state pinball machines from 77 to 86. So this is going in a Stern Dracula. What year? I think it's January of 80, something like that. Parts list. There's really not much to them, which is why it's cool to kind of put them together yourself. It's almost like one of those old kits where people would build radios or something, but there's really not all that much to it. So you can go get the complete assembly instructions on their website, and this is what you need, etc., etc. Now notice they have them labeled here. Okay, so let's see if we really need those assembly instructions. Let's see if we can just, you know, You know what I mean? Just kind of make it happen. I put together 2 or 3 of them, and I'm thinking maybe we don't need the instructions. Let's see how well the boards are labeled. That's all that will matter, ultimately. Okay. So, D1, D2, R1, C1, C2, U2, U3, U1, J3, J2. There we are, J1. Okay. And then, so that's the board as they're usually made. And then this would be the front of it. Yeah, so I think I can just put them together. So let's try to make one without reading the instructions. Maybe that'll make the video interesting. I mean, it kind of tells you where everything goes. So you need one of these packs of stuff. And then, look at it. You want to see something beautiful. This is something you don't see every day. Look at this. You're going to love this. I'm going to have to rip it. I'm one-handed here, folks. Bear with me. Look at that. Look how cool. So you can leave that little sticker on there to leave it glossy, or you can peel that off too. And then it has like a matte look. So those are red. Very cool. All right, so yeah, let me start populating this thing, going by what they've got listed, and then we'll see if we can get one to work. So there it is. I didn't use the instructions, and it took about 30 minutes, to be honest. I'm kind of slow, though. In multiple ways, some people say. But that is a nice piece of product right there. I think the younger kids say it's a nice piece of kit. Look at that. Very cool. Okay, so we're going to go slide it in the machine and then turn it on. You can do just one on a Bally display. You can do just one. And again, we've got the high voltage missing it, actually. This actually goes over it, too. It's just kind of like a mask thing, so I'm going to put it on there. And then we'll just see how it looks. Whenever you're assembling these, the only advice I would have is that, and he mentions it in the instructions, not these, but the other ones. The only advice I would have is that when you put these LEDs in, they can actually move a little bit. So you want to tack them in place with one of the pins, or maybe 2 of the pins, and then look on the front, and there's a little line there that you can line them up with. Then you might have to twist it a little bit to get it square. Because you can actually get it where one's this way a little bit, one's that way a little bit, and it just looks a little off. But other than that, everything goes together really nice. So yeah, let me put this on, and then we'll pop it in the machine and see if the MPU can even display anything on it. Let's see. Keep your fingers crossed. Let's see how this red's going to work out for Dracula. Oh, yeah. It probably won't show on the camera that good. I'm looking through my screen here. Here in person, it's blood red. I mean, it's like really red. Looks great. Looks like on the display, on the camera, it might look just kind of white, you know, white and orange. It's really red here in person. Looks fantastic. Now, here's the deal. If you hit the test button, which might be that, if you hit the test button on a Bally or a Stern, the first test switch is all of the lamps blinking. But you know what? We might not have that plugged up. I can't get into test, people. Ain't that some crap? We might have bad, that MPU, I didn't repin that switch connector yet, so we might have a problem there. But I would love to get into lamp test or a display test and just see if it'll give me more than 0, 0. So on these old Bally's, whenever the switches aren't working, usually it's the connectors at the bottom of the MPU. They get all messed up. And it not only does the corrosion from the battery go over to the connector, it goes up into the wiring. So you have to replace not only the connectors but the little pins on the end of the wires. So I went through and I one by one started replacing them. You can just see how rough they were. Look at that. So you can see where that would not electrically connect. Some of them were broken. They just get all rotted. Look at that one. Look at that. So I replaced all of those. So now maybe we can get into test and test out the display. So with all those replaced, let's see if we can get into test. Yes. Yes, we're in test. Okay, so some of the lights are locked on, obviously. Some of them are not working. Lots of light problems. Let's see. Okay, there's the display. On the camera, you can't see it. It looks great here in person, but on the camera, it looks kind of crappy. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. So everything seems fine. So let me finish up the other displays, and then we'll install all of them and see if we can get all 5 of them to do that. That is very cool. Very cool. They look it's like here in person they look perfect. It's like blood red. I mean, it's perfect. So I think we're good on the displays. So let's go back into the previous test and turn on all of the computer controlled lamps. Get those flashing, and then I'm going to start replacing light bulbs, and then we'll make a list of all the ones that are screwed up. Okay, so here's what I did. I replaced all of the lamps in the back box, and then the ones under the playfield I just replaced for now, the ones that weren't working, and it didn't fix any of them. So they all basically are doing what they were doing before. So I've made a huge list here. There are a ton of them that are stuck off, and there's a ton of them that are stuck on. So if I was just guessing, I think the lamp driver board, one of the decoder chips has every single light stuck on, and one of the decoder chips has every single light stuck off, and 2 of the decoder chips are working. That would be my guess. So we're going to look in the schematics and see if we can figure it out. So here is my list. I wrote it in code, so y'all won't be able to tell. And here is the board that I pulled out. And then here is the schematics. So what I have done is went through and marked all of the ones that are either stuck off or stuck on. And then I followed the lines back to see what's common. Okay, so U2, everything connected to that is turned off. So this chip is definitely bad, or it could be the lines running to the chip are bad. Chip 3, everything works apparently except for this one. That one is stuck on. Now if you look at chip 4, the second line is also stuck on high, but if you look up here at chip 1, the second line is stuck low. So it's probably not. So you're looking to see if the BCD data that's coming in is messed up. Right? So if you have the same one messed up on all 4 chips, well then you know it's something with the signal or whatever. This one has 4 different lines stuck low and 1 stuck high. this one has one stuck on. I'm just saying the light is high. I don't know about the line. So 4 lights stuck off, 1 light stuck high. This one is almost perfect except 1 light is stuck on. This one, everything connected to it is always off. Okay. And then this one has 3 that are low. Okay, now with that said, when you look at the board, it's damaged from the battery stuff. Look, that one chip, that one transistor, not good. If I mess with that, I bet it'll just break off. Let's not mess with it. The chips look fine from the top. Now, if you look at the back, you've got a little bit going on here too. This is pretty common on these lamp driver boards, and the reason is because they sit in the cabinet just below the battery. The battery's like right here. And so the nastiness from the battery ends up on the board. I've had people tell me, oh, nothing leaks out of the battery. You don't know what you're talking about. Well, something leaks out of the battery, people. That's clearly what happens. Clearly. As you get down to the bottom of the board, there's less of it. Well, a little something going on. Is that dirt? I think that's just dirt. I don't know. Well, the top is usually worse than the bottom. Okay. So I'm going to take a wire brush and clean this up a little bit, and then we're going to swap this one U2. And then on these pins, you always get bad solder joints on these connectors. So we need to resolder them too, because see, like this bottom one. Now look at that. You see how that's broke loose. So that light, whatever connects to that, probably doesn't work. That side looks all right. This is where the signals come in. First couple there look pretty bad too. That first one looks pretty bad there. They've resoldered a couple down there. So let's see if any of those line up to any of our screwed up lights. Alright, so I started cleaning it up and it's pretty far gone. There's just lots of damage to it. You know, there's even traces that have ate away. So Shane might get pissed if I put that back in. So Shane, I found you another one, buddy. Look what I had in my stash. Look, it's a stern as well. These don't have to be the exact same design. They're all the same. So there's about 5 different ones. Well, there's about 5 different stern ones and about 5 different Bally ones. They all do the same exact thing. They're completely interchangeable. So I found this stern one in my stash. Now I was saving this one, Shane, but you know, I'll go ahead and put it in your machine for you. These lamp driver boards are really not that expensive because they usually they don't get messed up. This one, yeah, but usually they're salvageable, and a lot of people remove them to put a different board in it if they put like LEDs in it, because it used to be they would flicker, do this crap or something if you put LEDs in it. So they made a replacement board. I think the replacement board for this is like $120 or something like that. So anyway, my whole point is, since they fit in every single machine and they're all the same, some machines had 2 of them, like Rapid Fire had 2 of them. I think Mr. and Mrs. Pac-Man had 2 of them. I might have that wrong though. But there's a ton of them out there. So these things are fairly inexpensive. If you buy a used one on eBay, not much. Okay, so there's a couple transistors missing on it, but I looked on the sheet and they go to lights that aren't populated in Dracula. So we're going to pop this one in. I resoldered the connectors. We're going to pop this one in and see if we get better results out of this one than we did out of that old one. None of these are numbers matching or anything. It's just, you know, you got to get the thing working. So let's see if we get better results out of this. It doesn't have any battery damage on it. Alright, this one's much better. You do still have a few out though. So these up here, which we're actually working on the previous one, that's the high score to date. It's not coming on. The 8,000 is not coming on. The plus 4,000 is not coming on. The 100 or 10x when lit is not coming on. And the second star is not coming on. But that's much better. So maybe we can work from there. So let me make a list of that and see if anything is common on those. Alright, so I wrote down the ones that are messed up, and then I looked up which pin it is and which transistor it is on our little schematics, okay? So the first one is this Q15, the high score one. Q15. So remember I was saying there's a couple transistors missing, but they don't go to anything? Q17 doesn't do anything. But there's two Q17s. They labeled it wrong. This is actually Q15. So the reason that one's not working is because the transistor's missing. But we don't need this one, so I'm going to take this one and put it there. So that should fix that one. And then the other ones are 57, 58, and 59. Now it seems suspicious as heck to me that 3 in a row, what are the odds of that, don't work. But it seems that's the way it is, so I don't know. Something's wrong. So you would think that that would be maybe the connection over here. So I checked all of that, and it's fine. The transistors test fine. But I've had this happen on these lamp boards. These SCRs, you can test them with the meter, but sometimes they'll pass your test, but won't work in the game. So I've just removed them. I'm going to replace them. And then the last one is this Q28, which is the same story. It seems fine, but it ain't working. So I don't know, something going on. So I'm going to replace those and move that one, and we'll see if that gets our 5 missing lights back. All those are working. All those are working. All those are working. And all of these are working. Now for my next trick, I'm going to illustrate that the solenoids are screwed up. So think about what we've done here. We got the board to boot. We got the displays to all work. That's how it kind of talks to us. We got the lights to work. That's also kind of how it talks to us. We got the switches to work. Remember the switch wouldn't work and I repinned everything. And now we need to check the solenoids, and there's some issues. So I'm going to put it in solenoid test, and it's kind of hard for me to understand what's going on. I mean, I know what's going on, but I haven't completely figured out the problem yet. Maybe we can figure it out with the schematics. Check this out. There's the displays. I think we might be all right. Earlier I was thinking one of them wasn't working. That's all of them. Never mind. There's no solenoid. Why would you think there's a solenoid problem? There's no solenoid problem. All right, so I think we're ready to work on the playfield a little bit. Joey, we need to fix the playfield on this Dracula.
All right.
So go ahead and do the thing that you do.
All right.
So we'll do that on a separate video though, so that we got to keep it all together. But it looks like we've got it up and running. Now the soundboard, I did not do anything to, because if you saw the earlier video, when I turned it on, it started squealing and acting crazy because the caps were reforming, and it came up and it sounds great. And so if you turn the volume up, it's crazy loud with no hum at all. So that all actually worked out pretty good. All right, folks, so we're going to play it just for a second. I don't want to play it a lot because the playfield hasn't been cleaned up yet. But we're going to attempt to play it just to see if everything seems to be doing its thing. If I can reach the credit switch. Come on, baby. Give me a credit. There we go. Ooh, several credits. Okay, so let's see if everything seems to work. Hey, it kicked the ball right out. Look at that. Hey, it shot the ball right up. Look at that. Ooh! Whoa! It's got flow! It's got flow, people. I didn't know it was a good game. I just thought it was a good theme. Did you see that shot? Did you see that? It went around, curved around. I missed it with the flipper. It went through the end lane. I shot it right into the saucer. That's called flow. Oh, I was hitting the wrong switch. All right, so yeah, the pop bumpers need adjusted, obviously. Nice shot there. Drop target work. There's a spinner missing on the right. It's got issues, folks. Again, I don't want to play it a bunch because the playfield's dirty. Might cause wear, you know. And by the way, I know I'm in the minority here, but I love Stern's early soundboard. I think it sounds great, and there's no way I would change it. I've got it turned down right now, so you can't really hear it, but this is going to be a really fun game. Was this another Harry Stern creation? Harry Stern. Harry Williams. Was this another Harry Williams creation? I might have to look it up. See, this is where a lot of people would stop. They'd say, hey, it works, good to go. If it fits, it ships. But I am not a lot of people. This thing still needs a lot of work. All right, it may have played 4 balls instead of 3 balls or 5 balls. So I don't know what's going on with that. Oh, I think I was looking at the credits. Never mind. It had 4 credits. Okay, so yeah, so we've got it limping along, but now we need to make it play nice. So in the next video, we'll do the play field. So I hope you enjoyed it so far. Make sure to give us a thumbs up for taking the trouble to film it for you. Leave your comments down below. And hey, you know how you can support our channel? There's 2 ways. One, if you'd like, if you're going to buy anything on Amazon, use our link down below our videos. All of our videos have it. To go to Amazon. And that's basically, we've sent you to Amazon. And we get a commission for that. Anything you buy on Amazon after you go there, doesn't matter what you're looking for, right? So we appreciate everybody that's done that. And then second, we have new t-shirts. That's right. We've got It's Broke t-shirts in commemoration of Joey's wonderful saying. Every time we ask him what's wrong with something, you know, I'm looking for details. And he says, oh, it's broke. So I gave him a big, long, detailed list of what I wanted our t-shirt logo to look like. And he went to our buddy Matt, who has been on some of our arcade videos, that owns an old school silk screen shop. And he had Matt make It's Broke t-shirts and didn't even tell me. And then, you know, I gotta admit they're pretty nice though. So if you want one of those, check it out. They're on our website, and yeah, I guess you can see them here somewhere on the video. I'm sure we put up a little photo of them. They're $25 and $5 shipping. So if you want one, email us. If you're international, we have a way to do that too, but it's more expensive. You know, international shipping sucks. But it is what it is. So if you're interested in one of those, email us, and that's the second way you can help us. And don't forget to check out my brother Donnie. My brother has his own channel here on YouTube. It's called the My Brother Donnie channel. The link is down below. On this channel, we do arcade games, pinball, jukebox repair. On my brother Donnie's channel, he does old buildings, old vehicles. He has a farm with cows and goats. It's fun. I'm over there with him on that channel a lot. But we'll see you back here in a couple days where we will do the playfield of this Dracula. And remember, we got a whole other Dracula we have to do after this one. So have a good evening. Sleep tight. Don't worry about vampires.